Hello, and welcome to the Prosper Reading live show. Was I live before? Hello, and welcome to the Prosper Reading live show, Booksplosion live show. This month, we are working with Disney Hyperion. Thank you, Disney Hyperion. Today, I have two other Booksploders who are make up Booksplosion. That is Kat of Cat-tastic.
Hi.
And Jessie of Jessie the Reader, right here with me. We're going to be talking about the dreadful tale of Prosper Reading. How can they ask questions?
On Twitter, we are taking questions with the hashtag ProsperXplosion. You can try to ask us questions in here, but we can't monitor the chat in here very well. So tweet us questions.
And if you tweet us, we'll see the questions better. We're going to start off with our overall thoughts.
Well, do you want to start off with a non-spoilery?
Yeah, with our non-spoilery overall thoughts. And then we'll tell you when the spoilers are coming, and then when that happens, it will be spoilery for the rest of the show. Yeah. Jesse, start us off.
Okay, first off, I just want to say, throughout the live show, I'm going to be looking at your questions, so I'm not just on my phone, I promise. I'm looking at questions. But my thoughts on this book, I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. It's definitely not my favorite Alexander Bracken book, but I still had a really good time reading it. It was a fun adventure. I loved the characters. I loved Alistair the Demon. He was one of my favorite characters, which I wasn't expecting that at all. The writing was pretty good. I do think that it was a little bit wordy at times, and that slowed down the pacing. But for the most part, I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I like the Halloween vibe to it as well. It had a nice Halloween vibe, which I like that. Kat, your turn.
Okay, I also really enjoyed this book. It was just so much fun. We had a great Halloween-y atmosphere, and I love this kind of stuff. I love the demons and the witches and the curses, so that was really fun. And yeah, like Jessie said, Alistair ended up being one of my favorite characters, which I wasn't expecting. I guess that's kind of spoilery. I'll tell you guys something else in a minute. But yeah, I thought this was super fun. Also, like Jessie said, not my favorite Alexander Bracken book, just because I love the Passenger duology so much. Passenger and Wayfarer were so good. Although this one is kind of the introduction and the setup to what is going to be a series. So it's set up. We don't have the full story yet. So I feel there's a lot of potential for me to love this series, especially after the ending. I'm very excited to see where we go.
Yeah, I feel Alex did a lot of world building in this book. There was so much setup. And it was all very interesting because we're so used to seeing her write in YA. And I think I do my favorite is Alex in YA. Well, I like Alex. You know what I mean?
She's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
I know.
Alex is one of our favorite authors.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, my favorite books of Alex's are the Alex and YA. Yeah. The Darkest Minds, I think, will be my favorite forever because, that was the first one I read, you know. I really liked seeing the setup in this world because I wasn't expecting such an in-depth world. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to it than I thought there was going to be.
The family relationships.
Yeah, there's a lot of family relationships going on, and there's different layers of family relationships because there's different realms, which tied together really cool at the end. Things started to really pick up and come together in a really interesting way that I was not expecting.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into spoilers.
It's different because we're all together.
I know.
It's so I'm on the computer looking for stuff. Okay, so we're gonna take questions from you guys.
And then we're gonna get into the spoilery part.
We're gonna get into spoilers. This is a middle grade novel. If you didn't get that. So it's definitely geared toward a younger audience.
It's upper middle grade though.
Yeah, I mean it's forever. It's when you read a Rick book.
Yeah.
And anyone can read it, but it's targeted at a middle grade.
Yeah.
Okay, our first question comes from Chloe. Thanks for asking us a question. She asks, do you think the story would be really different, better, or worse if it was written as a YA instead of a middle grade?
Ooh.
See, for me, it wasn't super middle grade-y. Mostly it was just the age of the characters, they were younger.
The fact that there was no romance was what felt the least YA.
Really middle grade.
But still, the writing quality and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you were saying. It's kind of wordy. It's Alex likes to.
Yeah, that's true. That's how all her books are really.
Yeah. So in the middle grade book, it was just different. Yeah. Because you expect it to be less flourishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have Prosper turning 13, and I feel like it wouldn't have made that much of a difference to the story if he was turning 15. But like that would have put it in YA.
18?
I mean, that would have been different because
There
then
would be a love interest. I would have liked it better if there
there's
was
a
a
love
love
interest.
interest. Maybe there
Well,
will be
maybe
in that
there
too.
will
Yeah,
Maybe
be.
a love
possibility.
interest. I
I
think
saw-
that's what happens
there's-
with middle
there's
grade for me.
something.
Maybe there is a love interest.
There
We'll
could be.
see.
Maybe. What you mean with?
Because they're not
Can I
related.
do spoilers?
We're spoiling
Yeah, we're
now.
spoilers. now.
Okay. Oh, okay. Do you mean with Alistair?
No, Alistair, not a romance with Alistair.
You mean with Mel?
But no.
Oh, I
Because
thought they
they're
were like a cousin-y relationship happening.
Well,
Well,
that's
that's
because
what
they
they
thought
thought
they
they
were.
were
They're like, oh, we're cousins, but like now
Well,
it's like,
he thought that.
yeah,
she knew.
it's true. She knew.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Did you guys see that coming?
No.
What? That they weren't
What
related?
did you see any? Like I predicted that Alistair's sister was the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I predicted that one.
Yeah.
But I did not know they were the Belgraves. When I
Yeah,
found that out, I was
didn't
like,
know Belgrade's part,
oh.
but I also
Yeah.
was super suspicious of Uncle Barnabas. Like
Oh,
right
yeah.
from the start, I was like,
I started
At
getting
first
suspicious,
interested in
but
it, when Alistair started getting suspicious is when I started.
I don't know,
getting suspicious.
thought Alistair might be trying to manipulate Prosper and was trying to like breed suspicion
Well,
and like create a divide.
After listening to Alistair a lot, you start to like recognize when he's manipulating
Yeah,
and when he's
that's
being
true.
self-serving.
yeah,
And like, and it's really interesting how that happened because in the beginning I was just like all the time annoyed by him. Like that first night he took him out and he was just using his body. I was so mad. I was like, I hate you. I hate this. I hate everything. He's not waking up and he's gonna wake up tired and he's gonna.
That was my favorite
I know.
chapter.
I like Alistair. Like,
Because I wasn't expecting an Alistair point of view.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that to be happening.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it started happening, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yes.
This is so fun.
I just don't like him using someone else's body. Like that's not yours.
He's a demon.
He's a demon, though. Yeah.
I don't care. I was mad. Get your own. Be a dog.
Get your own body, demon.
He can't get his own body.
Yes, he has a dog. He could be a dog.
Okay, but he doesn't have the strength to leave Prosper.
Well, whose fault is that? Really?
The Reddings.
Yeah, it's the Reddings' fault.
It's the
not
Reddings'
necessarily Prosper's
No,
fault.
he manipulated Honor into
Alistair.
going into a contract so that he could be powerful. So
I
that
know,
he
but-
could
But
come in.
that's like a mutually agreed thing. Like
Yeah.
Alistair is like out for himself, but he didn't back out of the contract. It was the Reddings that betrayed him.
What do you
The day
backed
is-
out of the contract? They're in a contract.
Yeah, and the Reddings were like, we don't want to follow through with this,
Yeah.
so we're gonna kill you.
What was their half of the contract?
To
That
be
they
their
followed
slave,
through
to
with?
be like their slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't
eternally.
Honor down there being a slave eternally? That's what
I
it should have been.
I don't know. I thought Honor was the one who broke the contract so he wouldn't have to serve.
Okay, I'm getting confused about the contracts now
Mhm.
because I thought
So the great.
I thought that this is why.
The contract was the Prospers or the Reddings will be lucky and successful and fortunate, but once they die and they're in like the underworld,
Every single
they
Redding
have-
ever?
yeah, the Redding blood, the whole
So
Redding
all the
bloodline.
other Reddings are down there then?
No, because they broke the contract, so they didn't have to go
How
down
does
there and
one
serve.
break the
They
contract?
tried-
I don't know.
I don't know exactly. It wasn't.
It
but
wasn't specified.
It
That's why
wasn't
this is
specified, but he
confusing.
tried to kill Alistair after Alistair had like given them the luck.
Aren't we already trying to kill Alistair? Sorry, I thought there was a bug in my hair. Okay, well, we're trying to kill Alistair too. That's
Yeah.
what they were
Yeah,
just telling you
but-
what they were going to do.
Yeah, because they
You guys
need to
are
get
all-
rid of him.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
We're not used to being this close.
I know they need to get rid of him, but like, would they be breaking the contract again? if
There's
they
not a
killed-
not a
contract
contract.
anymore. They've already broke it.
But I don't understand. I thought it's still there. That's why.
No,
he's-
it's
But
not.
this is like
That
getting
he's getting revenge. They
Yeah,
need to
that they
kill
have
him
to.
before he gets revenge on
Yeah.
them.
Oh, so
'Cause-
you just break a
No,
contract?
because they had who was it? They had a witch line died out 13 years ago, and that's when Alistair was able to possess Prosper. So like that, the fact that the witch's
Yeah, I
bloodline
remember that.
still existed was the only reason that Alistair wasn't getting his revenge for so long.
Okay. I still want to know how he broke it. Like, how does one break a magical
Maybe we'll learn in the
contract?
second book.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
like
it'll be explored
that
more.
that
might be a part
wasn't
of it more.
specified exactly. It was just that. Like, we don't know if you kill the demon, does that break all his contracts?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is? Like,
Yeah.
does that mean all his other contracts?
Well, then he
Are gone.
would
Yeah.
have been dead. Yeah.
I think we'll get more of that in the second book, especially after how we ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're heading in that direction.
Yeah. Well, to conclude this question, how would it change if it was YA? I think it's in the way that it's told. I feel like you can. Never mind. I don't know how to say this in the right way. We already kind of said, like, there'd be a love interest. It would just feel a little older because everyone would be a little older.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have more freedom. Just like the fact that they were like, oh, just call a car. Like, get a car to ride us to the school. Like, we missed the bus. Now we have to walk.
Oh, yeah.
Like, stuff like that. Like, it would eliminate those problems because, like, someone would have a car.
School, so, like, I mean, they'd be doing, like, maybe, what would he be as a high schooler? You know, would Prosper Redding be, what would he be doing? Would he be, like, because he was bullied in middle school, would he be, like, darker, you know, like,
I wonder if, and because Alistair has been inside him for longer without him noticing. But, like, regaining power.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if there's something significant about the 13.
Well, 13 is the unlucky number.
Yeah, but, like, specifically with the book, like, if he has to be 13 for another reason. Like, so I know, like, he was able to be possessed after the witch's bloodline, like, died out. So I'm wondering if, like, could he have been 15? Like, is 13 significant for another reason?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I think we'll
see.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Jillian asking a question. Hi, Jillian. Thanks for sending us a question.
Hi, Jillian. Thanks for watching us.
What would you do if you had a demon in you?
Oh, and that's, I think, part of the reason why I hate Alistair so much. So, like, because imagining this just freaked me out. I hate the idea of someone being able to control my arms and stuff. Like,
obviously, like, I hate the idea of it, but I just found Alistair to be so much.
Yeah.
I can't watch it without, like, imagining me
yourself in there being controlled by the demon.
Yeah, and, like, being like, oh, lick my legs and get them disgusting. You know that specific part?
Oh, yeah.
With the hob.
And he was like, clean me.
But he was like dirty, really.
Yeah.
And then he was like,
no, there were some parts that were really gross.
And when he smelled like rot because, like, they smell disgusting when they sweat, and you smell both of them.
He kept wanting to eat spiders.
I automatically just want to know how to get it out of you, but, like, how do you get a demon outside of you?
Like, I throw it out.
Yeah,
one thing that I guess it's like you don't want to, like, hurt yourself, but why didn't he, like, take the iron weapon to other limbs?
Well, he didn't have it, right?
No, but he could get another weapon. Like,
just a regular iron. I thought it was a cursed blade.
I don't remember if that was.
They definitely called it a cursed blade.
I thought it was just iron, though.
Oh, but they said,
sure that there's got to be more to it.
There's got to be more to it. Yeah.
That would be so easy just to, like, get it out of you.
an iron blade. Yeah.
Were you guys surprised when you found out that, like, that's what the family was trying to do to him?
Well,
like, not kill him?
I wasn't all on board with that's what they were going to do. Like, that grandmother was like, I hope it's young. Like, I was just like,
that nasty grandma.
You sit down. I just, like,
Yeah, like, they might have been doing that to his arms and legs and then going to kill him anyway.
Yeah. They might have been, like, manipulating Prue when they told her that, obviously. Yeah.
True.
So you never know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Prue? Like, I feel like I feel like I need to know her more. Yeah, because I don't like the way she treats him.
I know, and he was, like, so good to her for, like, so long, you know, when she was sick and everything, and then it just kind of, like, she got better, and it was, like, she turned her back on him.
But I think it's also because of the family's influence. Like, Prosper is kind of, like, the black sheep of the family and in the town as well.
He was, like, lying to her, kind of, and was like, I have all these friends and stuff,
and
she was like, no, you don't.
Misleading there. Because she didn't know, and then she shows up at school, and she's like, oh, Prosper doesn't have all these friends.
Yeah, but then I would have felt really bad and been like, come hang out with me and my friends. Like, brothers.
Yeah, but they're 13 years old. Like, they're teenagers. They want to do their own thing.
She definitely still cares. It's just like in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, she's moving through, like, a period of life.
Figuring herself out.
Yeah,
so.
middle school.
Yeah, middle school.
Middle school stuff.
Yes, definitely. This question is from Victor, and he asks, do you believe in the paranormal? Do you think that someone can actually get possessed?
I hope not. Dear God, it scares the crap out of me.
It's kind of like a really dark question.
Well, have you guys ever watched any of the horror movies where people get possessed?
No, I don't like scary movies.
Okay, because I can barely watch that. I watched the pilot of, oh my God, a scary movie that was made by Robert Kirkman. Not movie,
show.
A show. Yeah, I can't even remember what it was called. Like, it opened, if you saw the pilot, like, it opened up with a kid a cockroach was climbing up the wall, and the kid just slams his head up against it because he's possessed and he wants to eat it. Oh my god!
That was like in this book.
It was nasty.
He kept wanting to
my
eat
god!
spiders.
I know, it was nasty. It was like so much scarier because it was like so real.
Yeah, like visual.
Yeah, it was disgusting, and I couldn't. The kid did it. I watched one of those ones where the girls twist her head twists around, and I only got 20 minutes in. I was like, it's just making me scared because like I can kind of believe it enough.
Yeah, I believe it enough to not rule it out. Like I've heard so many stories about like ghosts. Like there's vampire lore from like every continent before there was communication to the continents. So like, how did they have the same vampire lore if the stories didn't pass, if they didn't each have vampires?
Or like
conspiracy.
Humans have similar ideas.
Yeah, that's like such a vampire specific. Like
yeah, I mean, more their names.
It's enough evidence for me to not rule it out.
It's like
I've never.
There was just one vagabond drifter that just kept
the vagabond vampire.
The vampire story.
Oh my gosh. This question is from Katie, and she asks, what was your favorite aspect of the book? Mine was the autumn Halloween atmosphere / setting. That was actually mine as well. Like I really liked just the overall feeling of the book. Like it just had this kind of dark, eerie vibe to it.
It was very like aesthetic in book form.
Yeah, it's a very good Halloween read. Especially because like during fall and like all the witches and curses and everything.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that was my favorite part. My favorite part was probably like the relationship between Alistair and Prosper as it went along, and also the different sibling dynamics. Like Alistair's story, I'm really interested in that. Like once we started hearing about like the underworld politics and like he's the heir to the throne, and his brothers like wanted him out of the way, and so he didn't even think that his sister might be the one who like turned on him or would ever turn on him. Like I got a lot more into the story once we got that first Alistair chapter, and I was like, oh, there's a lot more to the situation than I expected.
Yeah. You know what I found really interesting, which is a little thing, like, but there was even like sibling dynamic stuff going on in the school with like the twin teachers.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Drummer and the other Mrs. Drummer. One was the art teacher and one was like the drama teacher.
And they like didn't talk much. There's like something going on there.
He worked with both of them, which was really interesting. And it's just little things.
Does
like
Alex
that
have siblings?
Yeah, she does.
A brother.
I think she also has a sister.
Is she a twin?
I don't
think not a lot of twins in this book.
I don't know. Alex.
Let us know.
Yeah, I think the sibling thing was my favorite part of it. I liked watching him and Nell actually like become friends too. I really enjoyed like Prosper kept doing like really nice things. I really loved the whole play and how she wanted to play the male lead and they wouldn't let her. And how he went out of his way to try to like get her an audition. I thought that was so nice and also made me so mad at the end when Nell was like still betraying him still, and she didn't know because Prosper was like that kind of nice where he like didn't even want her to know that he had done it. And it made me I felt so bad. I was like, you don't even know.
But this whole time, like I kept wanting Nell to like piece it together sooner in that like ending moment. Like you've been with Prosper for so long, you know he's not like the other Reddings. Like you know he doesn't deserve for this to happen to him.
Does she even know the other Reddings? Like does anyone? Like,
no, but they hear about it all the time. Yeah.
And his parents aren't like the other Reddings. Like the Reddings are actively trying to change their image.
Some of them are. The grandma was like.
My grandma's ancient.
Do you think Alistair will live after he exits Prosper's body?
I think that they're gonna. I was actually hoping for a second that his powers would be drained and they'd just be stuck together forever.
Really?
Yeah. That was like an option for a second. You know, she's like, we're just going to drain his powers from you and he's going to be powerless inside you.
Oh my gosh. That'd be crazy.
I think that'd be funny. It kind of reminded me, the concept reminded me of a host. You know? Like,
I didn't think that, but I can see it. Yeah. Interesting.
He would like that because then he wouldn't be able to control his body and take them places.
He'd be powerless.
But the thing is, I don't think either of them would be happy.
No, they wouldn't. But it would be funny for a little.
Yeah, like I think, well now Alistair is drained quite a bit, so they will be stuck together for a while.
And he'd have Alistair's brain and his brain in there, so they'd be doubly smart.
if Alistair is in a helpful mood, it's not like Prosper just has access to his brain like a hard drive.
They're gonna become friends because like they are.
Yeah, I think
there's
they
already
are.
like a friendship forming there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But they're like looking out for each other. They're starting to care about each other.
Yeah.
Yes. Hufflepuff_007 says, what did you think of Nell and her character arc / backstory?
I really like Nell.
Yeah.
That's why it was so disappointing when she was like not being good at the end.
Well, especially because like Nell and Prosper like build this nice friendship.
Yeah.
And then it's just like
It just hurts.
Oh my
And like
God.
you already feel so bad for her because of like her family is kind of scattered. Like her mom passed away, and like her mom's fiance, she's not on good terms with her, and she's not really on good terms with her dad, who like came out of nowhere. And
yeah, I feel like I just lost my I loved seeing Prosper go to school and like it. You know, and feel like he could share his art and not be embarrassed about it.
He didn't have the Reading like shadow hanging over him.
Yeah, and she was there with him for all. And I love Rowan. He like says her glasses are designer. And
and he like stands up.
What? And then all the girls are like, really? Where can I get this glasses?
Yeah.
Like, can I get the same ones? That's so little.
And he also like fought for her to be in the play. Too.
Yeah. We talked about that.
Sorry, I was probably looking at questions. This has been asked quite a bit. So, which Hogwarts house would each character be in?
Okay,
We're gonna sort the
Before we
characters.
get that, I want to add one more thing.
Okay.
Prosper redecorated the whole house for her.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Another thing he said he didn't do. She's like, Prosper.
Take credit for it. And even Alistair like chewed out the hobgoblin for ruining the house in the first place. He was like, never do that again.
Yeah. Because he's like, you almost gave us away.
But that wasn't it. I think Alistair felt that.
But Prosper, wait, maybe he did tell them. He's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get everything right. I don't remember saying that. I don't remember. But anyway, it was great.
Yeah. Anyways, Hogwarts houses.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I feel like what's his name might be a Puff.
Prosper?
What's his name?
A Puff?
Our main character.
He might be a Puff. He's not. He doesn't take credit for anything he does, but he does all this nice
That's
stuff.
okay. Yeah, I see
He's
that.
a Puff.
Alistair's definitely a Slytherin.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Now might be a Ravenclaw. Like I feel like
she's a Gryffindor.
She has been through a lot.
I don't know, but
she wants to be. She wants to be the lead in a play where
she does,
and she's pursuing her magic and like she went out to find like the local tour guides to like get the Hound House on the map.
Thing to do, though.
But it's also like a going out. It's also
I mean, I feel like we haven't known her fully because she's been lying to us.
That's true.
I feel like she can go either way. Like
Gryffindor or
Ravenclaw, because like Gryffindors, when they're told to do something, they just jump and do it. But she does like I feel like try to think things through like more. She doesn't act very fast, especially with all the stuff that was going on. I think it was like a long con.
Yeah,
right?
But that
she was involved in.
Yeah, but it was more her uncle's con. Like
but she
like
went
a Ravenclaw
with
Slytherin. Yeah, she went along with it because she didn't know any better, and she'd grown up hearing stories about how terrible the Reddings are. And
yeah, but I feel like she would have broken away from her uncle earlier. You know, like she's not brave enough.
If she was smart enough, she would have broken away from her uncle.
No, well, Ravenclaws value smart, and they are smart, but sometimes they're not very smart. Like,
I vote Gryffindor.
I vote Gryffindor.
I hold out with full judgment to book two.
Who else do we have? It's a short.
The uncle.
Yeah, the uncle.
Prue seems like a Gryffindor to me for sure. Like in the end, she just like went to go find him.
Yeah,
she didn't really think it through.
Yeah,
in front of him.
Especially not the thinking it through. And he's like, "How did you think this was a note that I wrote you?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?"
That was such a Gryffindor move.
Yeah. Okay, I can do Prue as a Gryffindor. Yeah, I like that.
Uncle, we don't decide on him.
Yeah. So the
I think he
would go Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
Yeah.
Like,
because like he plotted this whole thing.
Yeah. But also
he's out for himself and out for like revenge. Everyone has something against the Reddings in this book.
With full judgment till further analysis.
Yeah.
Adriana B asks, what Hamilton song would describe this book in your opinion? I can't answer that question. What my favorite Hamilton song?
Yeah. The Sinners and the Saints. That doesn't discriminate.
Yeah. I think that would work well. I'm also thinking right-hand man, because like Alistair is his right-hand man, like literally.
Literally.
Yeah, that
He has
was
no
sick.
choice. It is his right hand. Proud Book Lion asks, what color would you be wearing if you were Horton?
What?
Oh, Horton is the kid who always wears colors based on his mood.
Oh.
I didn't recognize the name Horton.
I
at
didn't
first,
either. I was
but
like,
then I
who's
pieced the
Horton?
color thing.
Yellow.
Black.
Well, today probably gray.
Mm.
I'm wearing it. But like usually yellow.
Well, it depends on what the mood.
Yeah.
Like, what does the color stand for? Because like Prosper thinks he's angry, and he's like, no, red's the color of passion.
Well,
At
yeah,
one
well,
point.
it's also
Yellow's a happy
self-interpretation.
color.
Yellow is a happy color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bright, like sunny color.
But like a light blue color,
I like-
I feel like is cheery rather than.
I don't know.
It's like lighthearted.
sad.
I like
Yeah, a light blue. I feel like I would like light blue.
Yeah, I go blue because I love blue and blue makes me happy, so of course blue. We don't have very many questions.
Okay,
If you guys haven't asked us questions, hit up Twitter with hashtag
well,
ProsperSplosion.
yeah, we'll be here for
Let me see if I can look at the chat and see
Yeah.
if I can pull up.
Yeah. We're
Um,
taking questions on Twitter using the hashtag ProsperSplosion. But we can.
Who was your favorite character in the book? Let's answer that one.
Okay.
Personally, I liked Nell the best, honestly.
I
Like,
did
I just got
too.
like I thought she had like a really interesting
She
backstory,
did.
and then
And she has a really interesting character, just in general.
Yeah.
I feel like
and just like where her story went was just really interesting.
You just have to say what you expect her to say. Yeah.
I mean, I
she's
also
really
loved Alistair
smart.
too, though.
Yeah, I did see.
So-
I really liked Nell, Alistair, and Prosper. Like I liked all of them for different reasons
Yeah.
because I felt like they were the three that we spent the most time with and got to see the most distinct personalities. But I did feel like they were very distinct and they each had like good, interesting stories. Like I was really invested in those three.
Yeah, with Nell, I feel like another thing that might make her a Ravenclaw is like she wouldn't do the play if they wouldn't let her audition for that part. I feel like a Gryffindor, if they want to do the play and they want to be the star, they're going to do whatever it is that they want them to be the star. I feel like. I
still think she's a
I
Gryffindor
feel
too.
I'm pushing for her to
She's
be
really
mine.
pushing this.
Am I?
We got a good question here from Chloe, and she asks, if you were like Alistair and his siblings, what animal would you want to use?
Ooh.
Ooh, wait.
My Patronus I like my Patronus as a fox. So when I found out that Alistair was a fox, I was like, oh, I like you a lot already.
I think I'd want to be what my Patronus is, which is an osprey bird that I can fly, or an ostrich, because I like those two.
Well, my Patronus is lame, and I don't want to be that. It's an otter, so I'm not going there. What's like a really cool animal?
The platypus.
Platypus.
I really think they're cool.
You think they're cool?
They're going extinct because they're not very like
Oh,
efficient.
yeah. I want to be like a monkey or something, so I can climb like crazy things.
Now I'll do my next thing like a gorilla. Yeah,
A
yeah.
gorilla.
My guy, I saw the cutest baby gorilla at the zoo in San Diego.
If the book were to be turned into a TV show
Into a TV.
or movie,
Turn this into a TV.
who would you cast as the characters? And this is from Anne, so thanks, Anne.
Oh.
Let's
It's
see.
a younger. It'd be
It's younger, so I
it'd
don't
be
know
hard.
Who's the kid from Stranger Things? Who's in it?
Oh,
Who's that kid?
Oh, yeah, the bowl cut.
Mhm.
I'll look at the IMDb really fast. Stranger Things. You know that kid?
He would work really well for Prosper, though.
The kid who's the main actor in Wonder?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he's really good. He's in like a lot of
Only
adaptations.
vaguely.
He's in Room.
Now
He's
that
in
you
Room,
said
so.
though, the Stranger Things kid, I
Yeah, you're,
really
like, stuck
think
on that
idea.
He's Prosper.
Yeah, I think he would be a
He
great.
really
But you
could.
gotta get on him now because he's gonna age
He's
real
gonna
fast.
age. Yeah, he's gonna puberty real soon.
Are you talking
Like with Nell, like I don't know many young actors at all. Only because of Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, who do I know who's a young actor? I haven't even seen Stranger Things.
Like
I'm just like,
grown up Nell could be like, the girl.
She has red hair, right?
No.
No, I'm thinking.
Sorry if you guys can hear Chandler in the
Yeah,
background.
Chandler.
He's having a little
No,
party
Prue
downstairs.
has red hair.
Grown up Nell, like Maya from Shadowhunters, the TV show. Maybe. Does she have really close cropped hair? I can't remember.
can't remember either.
I'm picturing now with like her scrubbed hair. I don't know.
I know she has shorter hair.
Yeah. Christina's new haircut. That's what I'm picturing.
Okay, someone asked, what do you think about the hob? The hobgoblin.
That hob, I had much more respect for the hob at the end.
Really?
Yeah, all of a sudden I was like, wow, I read like mad props. You know, you really put on a show. I bought it hook, line, and sinker, and I appreciate that you're like much smarter than you let on.
See, I was just mad at the end.
He was like playing a real good game of Survivor.
Yeah,
like social game.
He was right
there.
Especially when he was telling him to cut off my horn, he's like, cut off my horn, I deserve it. And like, what if Alistair had done that?
He really, the hob dynamic really reminds me of House Elves. Like even the guy, the voice was just like the voice of Dobby in the audiobook. So it was really interesting to hear that. That's the way Alistair's family uses the hobs. But like, not everyone treats hobs like they're slaves. And it's really probably part of the reason why his sister came to power.
Yeah.
Because she's the People's Choice Award. She's the People's Choice.
People's Choice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those parallels are really interesting. Just the different dynamics, like Alistair's family is very well off in their world, and so is Prosper, but they're both kind of like left out of their families, and like they both have the siblings that they kind of underestimate. Prue came to rescue Prosper, and like,
I'm not gonna lie. When the sister walked out of there, I was like, I'm glad. I'm glad you're in charge, because the way he was talking about it, like they just assumed that she like, no way.
I was glad when the sister showed up too. I was like, that's what you get for underestimating her.
And look who's on the phone.
What you made me do.
Could never ever do it.
You didn't even think she was still alive.
You didn't even think she was a contender. Like, is she older than him too?
No, I think she's younger.
Okay, but why would she be the heir to the throne? I thought she was older.
Oh, maybe she is older.
The brothers wanted to kill her.
Yeah,
I think she is old. She's the oldest sibling, and they tried to freaking overthrow her
because her animal form was delayed.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't get into her animal form, and like all the politics of the underworld are different now. Like, she like really shook things up. Yeah,
and I'm just like, it should stay like that probably. I mean, if you're the one to like free the hobs, it sounds like you're better.
Yeah, like is she the villain?
Yeah,
like,
or was Alistair's family the shitty one?
And is she going to realize that like Alistair? How does she feel about Alistair? Is what I want to know. Like, is she just mad that he underestimated her? Because it sounded like he cared about her the most.
Yeah, well, it sounded like he kind of had a misconstrued idea of women in general from what his family had like instilled in him. Yeah, and she said that he let her be locked away in the tower, and he probably thought he was protecting her, and she was just getting locked away. Yeah. Do we have any more questions? Or do you want
Proud Book Lion says, would you have visited the Seven Horrors house?
No, I am terrible in that house.
What? You go to Fright Night?
You go to Fright Night?
You mean that one time we went and I screamed my head off and ran away from everything? That
was really funny for me because I wasn't scared, but she kept screaming. And they target you when you're screaming. So like they would go after Christine, and I was just like off to the side, like
literally they were like up in my face, and I was
with a chainsaw.
I can't do anything about it because you can't hit them. I just wanted to.
You can't fight back.
And also, like, everywhere you walk, like, there's these dark alleyways with, like, the scare centers.
And there's real magic going on. I mean, they don't know that, but, like...
I love stuff like that. It's thrilling.
Are you talking about... So you'd go in this house?
Yeah.
It's thrilling?
Yeah, it's thrilling.
Do you like scary movies?
Adrenaline rush. I do.
Okay, well... I'm not big on scary movies. Like, it wouldn't be my first choice. Like, if a group of friends were like, yeah, we're going to this, you're coming too, I'd go along, but it would never be my first pick for an activity to do.
It's just not worth it for me, I guess. So
if we were all going tonight, right after this, would you stay home?
Let's do it. Let's go.
You guys would lock out the door, and I'd like come back.
It wouldn't be good for her throat, anyways. To go.
Scream the whole time.
It's
It'd be a bad idea. But yeah. I
we
think that's
should go over our lineup for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so let's go through what we're going to be reading for the rest of the year. We've got a whole bunch of books lined up.
We don't actually
Wait,
have
do we
them
have-
with us, unfortunately.
We're in New Jersey right
Yeah.
now, and everything's at our houses.
Yes.
We have to send.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
we have
December. We got December.
We're all set.
Okay, so I'll announce this month, which is The Short History of a Girl Next Door by Jared Peck. I'm really excited about this contemporary.
Oh,
Jesse,
I read
tell
it.
us
I
about
loved
it.
it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I have a review. It just went up today.
Okay, hold on. Let's it just came out on
September
October
26th.
I thought it was October 3rd.
Oh, I thought it was
September
October
26th.
30th.
Oh, September 26th.
Yeah.
It just came out. It is a YA contemporary debut. Jesse, you want to give us a little plot synopsis?
I'm afraid to give a plot
Don't
synopsis
give
because
it.
this one's gonna
It's
be
fine.
like
No. It's a contemporary. It's
Watch
supposed to be
Jesse's
funny.
review that
Watch
just went
Yeah,
out.
go watch
Jesse's
my review.
Yeah,
Spoiler
it's-
free.
But
Yeah,
like
spoiler
what
free.
I do know from Goodreads and what is not spoilery at all is that it's a contemporary and it's a debut and it's supposed to be really funny and it's supposed to be good. Like it's good.
And Jesse liked it.
And Jesse liked
It's funny, but
it. Don't say anything.
It's not like a comedy book.
No, but like
can't
Okay,
say
okay,
anything.
okay.
but
No.
like Tiffyos is funny. You know? I'm just like I was laughing every other page and crying the minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're very excited. November, we've got
Magnus
Chase
Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 3, The Ship
Ship
of the Dead.
I'm sorry.
We're all really excited.
That
We
book
love this
also just
series.
came out
Trilogy.
October 3rd.
Third. Yes.
It is the third book
What's the
in a
date?
trilogy. It's October 7th. It's the third book in a trilogy, and it is our November book of the month. So if you want to catch up on the trilogy, you have
this
time. You have October
And,
and
like,
November
You
to read books.
really should, because it's excellent.
And you don't need to read the other books to read this. Like Apollo, you gotta read the 10 Heroes of Olympus books. With this one, you can read it.
Yeah, it's like so much fun. Like,
Yeah, I love that.
Magnus is the best narrator.
Like, and it's so fun because
I do love Apollo as a narrator.
I haven't gotten
but
to him yet.
I
Though.
don't like Apollo as much as like
I
Magnus
like him because
or
he's so
Percy.
sassy and melodramatic.
I hate how he's so melodramatic all the time. It's just like 24/7 melodrama. But like I like the books too. Obviously.
Yeah, I love our crew in Magnus.
Yeah, and I love Magnus and
Yeah.
everybody in there. Yeah.
And I can't believe it's the third book in a trilogy. I want more. Like
We deserve more, Rick.
I'm
Give us more.
preemptively sad
We
that
want
we're
it.
not getting more books.
Percy people. I'm pretty sure. Don't no spoilers if you already read it because it just came out. But like, I'm pretty sure Percy's gonna make an appearance in this book.
I'm gonna read it very soon because I don't want to be spoiled.
I've got like 50 books to read this week, but when I'm done, Magnus.
All right,
And
then
our December book of the month is Otherworld
Woo,
by
nice.
Jason Segel and Kristen Miller.
Yeah.
You just read a book
Yeah,
by
I
them.
read Nightmares by them and I loved it. It's
Yeah.
one of their middle grade books, but this one is going to be YA. so-
Yeah,
This one
and it's
is
like a
supposed to be
digital, like
Westworldy.
yeah,
Sci-fi.
Westworldy, sci-fi, digital,
Very
virtual
much.
reality.
Very much into that right now.
Yes.
Westworld.
Yes.
You're not wearing your Westworld
I
shirt.
wore it
How
like
dare you.
yesterday. I can't wear it like 50 days in a row. But
Not
I do
with that attitude.
You could, but
I have a lot of Westworld merch already, and it's only been one.
And when does that book come out?
November.
November.
No, it's the end of October.
October 31st.
October
31st.
Oh.
yeah, 'cause that's a Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's like the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's like
Great. No, we
we're
don't.
not. We haven't worked out January yet.
We'll let you know as soon
But
as
that's
we know.
and yeah, our December end of the year live show, like Otherworld is going to be a big one because that's when we do our like awards for the
Awards
year
of
and our
all the
recap, the
year,
Booksplosion recap. So that should
That's
be
like
a really
my
fun
favorite thing. I love
one.
that.
The big recap, yeah, and also like I'm so excited about
Nostalgic.
all these books, like our fall reading lineup, like starting with Prosper.
Yeah.
Like
Bravo. Bravo.
Yay!
We hope you guys were able to
We
join
hope
us
you
this
guys
season.
were able
It's
to
gonna be
join us
awesome.
for everything else. Thank you so much for joining us for Prosper.
Yeah.
This has been part of the paid promotion by Disney Hyperion. I didn't say that. When Disney sponsors you, they want you to say those exact words.
Yeah. Nailed it.
just to be clear.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for sharing your questions and your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments if you didn't tweet them.
Yeah, if you read this book, maybe you didn't catch us live, but you're watching this later. Let us know what you thought about it. Like, who are your favorite characters? Answer some of the questions we answered. Let's talk about it.
We're Booksplosion. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.